Hi, I'm John Waterhouse, and this is Weekday Wisdom. My question for you today is, how effective are you at communicating? Amidst this whole pandemic, communication has become even more critical in how we interact with one another. And what I want to share with you today are some effective ways to communicate and some agreements you can use to communicate more effectively. Now, they're two different things, so we're going to take them one at a time. First of all, I have these seven communication skills that I think will help you realize the essence of communication is different than most people think. Most people think that to be effectively communicating, you must get the ideas that are important to you inside the minds of the other people. But the truth is that will happen naturally if you are very conscious of how you're receiving information from other people. So listen to these ideas and see what you think. I'm not asking you to remember them all or to have them all figured out, but just let them kind of wash over you and see if something sticks. Number one, seek to understand what that person is saying to you by listening to them actively. Stay focused on what they're saying to you, not what you're going to say when they stop talking. The most important thing going on in a conversation is what you're hearing, not what you're saying. So remember that first. Number two, be aware of non-communication, non-verbal communication. That means don't cross your arms, don't twitch, don't get distracted, don't keep looking away at something else. In fact, what I like to do to give nonverbal communication is to lean into what someone's saying. Now, that can be physically leaning in a little bit, but it can also just be the intention of leaning in by really paying attention as though that person is the most important person in the world and what they're saying is important to you. If you can do that, you will open up a much deeper way of communicating with a person. Number three, ask clarifying questions. Don't ask questions to make your point, but ask things like, how did it feel when that happened? How did it feel when I said that or did that, or whatever the conversation is about? Or what's most important to you about this? So that you're really getting to the heart of what's important and what's going on in this conversation. Number four, be clear and succinct with what you say. Never try to out-talk someone to control the conversation for your advantage. That doesn't work. People know that when that's happening. The most important thing to you should be that that other person walks away here feeling heard, feeling understood, and feeling honored in that communication. Number five, be empathetic rather than defensive. Even if the conversation is about something they think you screwed up, have some compassion for them, for what they're feeling. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to fall into some kind of trap of enabling them in their dysfunction. But by having some empathy toward them, they feel heard and they feel understood, much more so than otherwise. Number six, seek to have trust and rapport that will remain in your conversation. If you develop trust and a sense of rapport with the person that you're communicating with, the next time you have a conversation, and probably any conversation you have after that, is going to be based on trust and rapport because you've established that. So always work to do that in any conversation with anyone, to really be there for them and let them and find ways for them to know that you're really interested in what they have to say. And then finally, number seven, take time to clarify and summarize any agreements or understandings that have come up in this conversation. End it by going over it again and saying, okay, this is what we're going to do, or this is what I have learned or understand from our conversation. When you do that, it's absolutely clear that you were totally present and you heard what they had to say. When you have these kinds of conversations, you create a deeper sense of respect and honoring of them, and they feel the same way about you. Now, what I want to also tell you about today are some agreements for effective communication. These come from a document that was kind of shared around our spiritual movement 20 years ago, when there were people that were really struggling with communicating, and there were lots of arguments going on. And we came up with this document and shared it, and I think it worked. And I've, of course, modified it because I modify everything. But I want you just to listen to these ideas and see how they they feel to you in creating effective communication. Here we go. If I have a problem with you, I will tell you about it privately. If you have a problem with me, is it okay that you tell me about it privately? If someone comes to me with a problem about you, I will send them to you. If someone comes to you with a problem about me, will you please send them to me? If someone won't come to you alone, I will suggest that I will come with them to see you. If someone won't come to see me alone, will you suggest coming with them to see me? If when you speak, I don't understand what you mean, I will ask you, what do you mean? And if you don't understand what I mean, will you ask me what I mean? Rather than interpreting your feelings, I will ask you what you're feeling. Rather than interpreting my feelings, would you please ask me what I'm feeling? If I have a concern about something that you have said or done, I will share it with you with the intention of resolving any misunderstanding. If you have a concern about something I've said or done, is it okay that you share it with me with the intention of resolving any misunderstanding? If I have received information in confidence, is it okay that you don't ask me to tell you about it? I do not share confidential information. If you have received information in confidence, is it okay that you don't tell me? Here are some other things I'm asking you to know about me. I do not read unsigned letters or notes. I cannot and will not respond to anonymous complaints. I will do everything I can to listen deeply so that I can hear what you are saying. And I will do this whether I or not I can do anything about your concerns or your feelings. These are just some ideas that will help us all be better communicators and in better connection, better heart connection with one another. I trust there's something in this that touched you in a way that may help you become an even better communicator. And with that, have a fantastic day.